Hey everyone, Moxie here. Welcome to my life admin day. I have Tuxedo Sam here to guide me on my day, and I put a t-shirt on for you guys instead of my usual, I don't know, tank top that I normally wear. You're welcome. We are all set up and ready for a successful life admin day, successful day. So, to get started, I guess the main question is, what is a life admin day? And it is kind of what it sounds like. It's a day where you run admin on your life. You catch up on paperwork, you get bills paid, organize your filing cabinet. It looks different for everyone, and for me, every life admin day looks different. For the most part, it is generally catching up on a bunch of paperwork and then a couple of other small things that have fallen to the wayside. So, on this life admin day in particular, I had a giant stack of paperwork, which you will see me just sitting at my desk and just plowing through. But before that, I always make sure that my morning routine does not get disrupted. I always make the bed and open the curtains and just kind of wake up the house, really. I get the baby's water ready for the day. We boil it and then we just keep it hot in a thermos throughout the day, feed the cats, the usual things that you do to wake up the house. Um, can't let that fall to the wayside, but I always do like a little bit of extra special stuff on life admin days as well, which I will get to in a bit. So, question number two, now that we know what a life admin day is, why do one? And the answer is pretty simple. Sometimes things fall behind. I generally do 3 life admin days a year, so once every 4 or so months. And I set aside a whole day so I can catch up on anything that's falling behind the last several months, basically, since the last life admin day. And I do my best to keep up with everything, but life is busy. I've got some disabilities that make things difficult sometimes to keep up with day to day. And things do fall to the wayside, and a life admin day helps me to correct course. And now, your last burning question. I mean, you might have more questions about life admin days. And if you do, please let me know in the comments. I am more than happy to do a follow-up video if it will help provide additional guidance. Or just curious about some other life admin things. If you've never heard of a life admin day, or you've heard about it but never done one yourself, or if this sounds so brilliant and something you want to incorporate into your life, just let me know if you have any additional questions, and I will be more than happy to um, create additional content for that. So, yeah, your last burning question right now, or the one that I think you are asking, may or may not be accurate, but is how to do a life admin day. And the answer is pretty straightforward. Set aside an entire day just for this. Yes, you can do these tasks early in the morning or after work, kind of like a standard to-do list, but the point of a life admin day is to get through these tasks in one day and realign your to-do list. Just eliminate things that have maybe been hanging out there and sitting there for quite some time, or it makes sense to batch a bunch of these tasks at once. And it's quicker to get them all out of the way that way. And if you want to slowly take care of your tasks before and after work, that's fine. That's perfectly reasonable. That's probably generally what you should be doing. But the purpose of this video is to show what a life admin day is like. And the way to do it is to have an entire day set aside for it. This can be a weekend if you work a standard job. It can be during the week if your schedule is a little more fluid. Or you can even take off an entire day from work to do it. I am currently freelancing, so my life admin days I generally put on Fridays, and then I will just do extra work Monday through Thursday, so I don't really have a lot of work to do, if any, on Fridays. And that's really nice for me. It works really well for me. It gives me a slow start to my weekend. It helps me feel really accomplished because I knock a lot of stuff off of my to-do list, and it's mostly stuff that's been sitting there for a while. So now that we've got the three big kind of burning questions out of the way, I also just wanted to share some tips to have a successful life admin day if you yourself are interested in trying to do this for yourself, or if you've done this for yourself and maybe fallen a little short of what your goals are. Hopefully, these tips will help you. The first tip is don't stress yourself out. If you're doing a life admin day, it likely means that you've fallen behind paperwork, house cleaning, anything really, right? This day is to realign and to refocus yourself and to just completely clear off your to-do list. And sometimes being behind on your to-do list is a little stressful. So you may find yourself feeling pressured to get a lot done. And sometimes the reason the tasks that are on your list for life admin day, sometimes the reason they fall into the wayside is that they are time consuming. So definitely have your to-do list handy and ensure it's prioritized properly, but don't pressure yourself so hard into getting everything done that you can't focus on the task right in front of you, right? If you're thinking, oh, I have like 15 things to do after this, and this is taking way too long, I'm not going to get everything done. Sometimes just stressing yourself out just compounds and makes it impossible to get anything done, and we definitely don't want that. So don't stress yourself out. Be kind to yourself. All of your stuff will get done eventually, right? The idea is to get it all done and out of the way today, but if that doesn't happen, it's really not the end of the world. Don't beat yourself up over it, please. You deserve better. Be nice to yourself. And speaking of being nice to yourself, tip number 2 is to start the day right. For me, this means a solid breakfast and some exercise. Y'all have been watching me this whole time. That's just all my normal morning routine to-do list. I do like to kind of have a little bit of extra like bulk and fluff to make life admin day a little more successful. So I especially try to go on a walk on life admin days. It gets me out of the house for a bit, get some fresh air, and the walk, like the motion and just the whole idea of a walk, helps give my mind time to sort out the day and kind of structure or set up like a schedule in my brain for the day so it can be a successful one. And for breakfast, I usually like to do something a little fancier than what I typically have. My usual breakfast is either oatmeal or a cheap frozen breakfast burrito with a hash brown. Both delicious, both awesome, solid breakfasts that aren't wholly unhealthy. But today, I made some tofu scramble with some leftover tofu, and I fried it with some veggies, and I made a delicious wrap at home. Sometimes I order breakfast just because it's a little fun. But just, oh my gosh, this tofu scramble wrap was so freaking good. It was so satisfying, and it really helped get the day off to a great start. And I even finally made Rose at Cheap Lazy Vegan's tofu scramble for this recipe. I've been doing my own tofu scramble for a while, but I've been wanting to make hers just because she knows what she's doing when it comes to being a cheap lazy vegan. I'm not vegan, I'm vegetarian, but yeah, thumbs up to her for this recipe because I am so glad I made this specific tofu scramble. She really nailed the ratios of all the spices and seasonings, and in her video she always says it's the best tofu scramble you'll ever have, and I've had a lot of variations of tofu scramble and I can pretty much back up her claim. Great stuff. I did add some Southwest Chipotle dash to go with the scramble mix since I like just a little bit of kick, and that combination just knocked it out of the park for me. Like, the tofu scramble was already awesome, and then adding that little bit of kick with the Southwest Chipotle dash. Oh, great way to start the day. And now that I have properly lost my mind over my delicious life admin breakfast or life admin day breakfast, and had my walk, had my morning routine all done. Now it's time to get to work, right? Got a huge pile of paperwork to do, got my computer in front of me, just me and the babby, hanging out, getting stuff done. I'll be honest, on this particular life admin day, I got to about 95%. There were a couple of things that I did not manage to complete, but, can't complain. I got enough done, and I was very happy with how this day went, start to finish. So, speaking of getting 95% of the way there, tip number 3 is to have a to-do list. It sounds obvious, but knowing what you need to do and having a list to visualize it is pretty vital to succeeding for pretty much everyone. Um, you need to make sure you know what to do and how much you need to do to help yourself set proper expectations. Life Admin Day is a success if your goals are reasonable and you complete all of your tasks by the end of the day. Asterisk most of your tasks. Be kind to yourself. Don't stress yourself out. Like I said, I got 95% of the way there, and I was very happy with that because I don't know when some of this stuff would have been completed if I didn't set aside this day to do those tasks. Because sometimes you have more than you realized that you need to do, and a game plan to get it all done or figure out what to prioritize for Life Admin Day and what to do later will help you succeed. So, yeah, the last 5% of the stuff that didn't get done on this day got done later, and that's all there is to it. It did all get done, but the reason why it was all able to be completed was because I had my Life Admin Day to get 95% of the way there. So that is going to do it for my Life Admin Day, for this time anyway. I hope that this video helped inspire you to do your own Life Admin Day if you've been needing one, and I hope that the tips that I gave are helpful and useful, and that you have a great and successful Life Admin Day or just a regular old day. Whatever you have, I hope that you are kind to yourself and that everything you do is a success. And yeah, thanks so much for watching to the end of the video. You guys all take care of yourselves, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye.